Hello folks, and welcome to Haut Beyleron for episode 7. This time we've been tasked to do some work, so this is going to be a little short mini episode. Well, I would say mini episode, but a shorter episode of where we've been tasked by the locals to do some winter work. It includes some ploughing and salting the roads. Now, apparently weather should be getting better later on today, but still they want us to do some road work, so let's get cracking on here, shall we? Alright folks, so here we are, just going to salt the roads a little bit. They want us to do some roads, and they particularly want us to do some side roads, so that's what we're going to do. In terms with the money for the farming act, we're being paid, I think, I was quoted 7 grand to do this work, so the main reason is, the main jobs they want us to do is over here, so see, we're just ploughing away, clearing some pathways. We'll open up the mini-map. Also, in terms with money for the farming act, obviously the money's gone down, we've been spending some. I'm not going to go into the full details of that, that'll be for the next episodes. We may discuss it later on today, but it involves taking out a loan of certain amounts. We've got some new equipment, so will hopefully benefit the farm in the long run. I talked about doing grapes. Whether or not we're still going to do that, I'm not sure. Actually, I think I'm going to try to turn the spreader off, I think. Does it make a difference? I think let's just go and plough this road for now, and then we'll go from there. Because in terms of what they want us to do, so for example, they want us to sort of do most of these back roads here, so we'll go up to here towards grain mill, then we'll come back down and do some by the railway line. I think also they want salt like some of these hilly roads, because obviously when we were driving it in the summer and that and fall, it was very treacherous for that, and apparently some locals have been struggling. Also, we've been accepting some winter contracts. Let's go to our, where's our case 2? Or class, should I say. Oh no, there's class here. We do have some equipment at least, bear with me a sec folks. So here we're down here by 31, we're doing a contract on this field. Have we done this field? Yes we have, so now we've got field 46 to do. And I didn't realise, well, I should have realised this, actually cultivating helps with getting rid of snow in the field, so actually has a little benefit there, because obviously pretty much snow, all of it is it's water, so when you're cultivating you're putting moisture back into the ground, so it's a nice little neat job there. Trying to be careful over the train tracks not to damage it, especially in the winter. There we go. Is field 46 right? Yes it is. Obviously in terms of the crops to sell, we've still got our soybeans, and I'm adamant to stick with them as long as possible. In terms of harvesting crops and that, or planting, I want to do grapes, so the planting window for grapes is March through to May. So perhaps if I got planned on taking out a temporary loan in March, or extend our current loan in March, pay all of it in June, July time, when we go and sell the soybeans. At the moment it's about 3 grand, which is a very good price, don't get me wrong. However, I want to try to maximise as much profit as we can. And obviously, also with the loan in that, in terms of what animals going to get, I may divulge a bit more in this episode. Let's just go get you started. I think, yeah, I'll do the headlands and I'll get worker going along. To be honest, I don't mind time workers on the odd occasion. Yeah, I really don't. Obviously, with the 120 grand we've got, I will tell you, we've took out a 75 grand loan. And as you can see, in January and February, we spent over 300 grand in new equipment. some that it's definitely worth it. One we bought is a Landini tractor, and the reason why we bought that is because of the grapes that we're going to do. Also, you'll need a what was it? I should get the work started. Was it a rough? Not rough. They're boots, tools. Also, you'll need a small mulcher, something like this. So that's going to be £4.5 grand. Ideally, I want to wait out to see if it comes up in the used market. What else? Oh, that's it, the pre-pruner. That's what we need. Also, a trailer for the grapes. The fertilizer I'm not too worried about, because obviously our fertilizer can do a 42 meter working width. So, sorry, I was tapping over. So yeah, 42 meters. I think I will put some salt down just to help people walking and buying that. We do have access to salt at the shop. In terms of equipment, we're going to sell some equipment as well. A lot of it is more to do with the grass care side of things. And actually, speaking of grass care, obviously you may see in the last episode, depending on how I edited it, we did some grass rolling. And that wasn't, I wouldn't say it's a stupid move, but in a way it was, because grass rolling, yes, it gives you a yield bonus of about 5%, give or take. But you meant to do that at the start of when it grows. But I did it when it was pretty much nearly ready to mow. So if we have a look at our grass field over here, as you can see, we sort of mowed or rolled about, I think about, yeah, less than half it before I realised, oh bugger, I've messed up. So in terms of silage, what we're going to get, we're going to get this bit here, but we should still get a pretty penny for the silage. Hopefully the grass is ready today, if not tomorrow. Or in terms of next month, shall I mean. So there we go, that's the snow. There we go. So now, let's go down to that area. And we'll do around the train tracks, and then we'll start doing some of the hills, and then we can have a bit more of a chat of what we're actually going to do here for the next year, or this year technically. So we've done our first bit down south. Now we're going to do up here, up the road, like up to the spin arena and a few other areas according to my list here. So what we're going to do now is simply turn on the spreader, which will reduce the width a little bit. Whoa, crazy car. Ooh. Something like 6 meters, yep. So let's go to 8. you know what, 6 to 6 so actually we're doing the main roads, because there's no pathways over here, so... Sorry car, you have to wait. Yeah, I know some of these cars are just in rush, but people's safety is adamant. Protesters now, they're stuck behind me now, so their beautiful paintwork on their French little cars might be a bit ruined. Okay, we'll put the plow down as well a little bit, so it just scrapes any excess snow off the road surface, but to be honest, no. Sorry about that. Little interruption there, so yeah. We're to get this done. How much more we need to go? Apparently we've used like almost 20%. So I'm going to pull over here and let these cars pass. Because I don't want to hold them up too much. So our cars come in. There we go. But yeah, I do like the fact that we've got a snow time feature, road salt feature as part of the base game of FS22. And just yeah, obviously we're going to get much money from this, about 7 to 10 grand apparently is what we've been quoted for. So it's a bit of a big gap, 7 to 10 grand, 3 grand difference, that is significant. That is just down to how much work we actually end up doing. Obviously since we've done most of the fields down, well most of the side roads down south, I think if we do all the main tricky roads like this road here, which if we do it properly as well, I think they'll give us the full 10 grand and maybe a little bump of a tip as well. Who knows, I want to establish myself as part of the community, you know, help out the locals, because apparently no one else has been salting these roads and there has been a few accidents over the winter months, so... Okay, I'm going to turn this off here, so now we need to access the spinnery, which is up here I think. If we can salt... This needs to be salted. Just so that people can have ease of access, because especially the non-main roads like this gets less attention and that, so it's just part of the helping community and that, which I do not mind. Yeah, actually, like this pretty much, we've had some rolls salt already. Obviously this is the second batch that we're using. We think we've got 2 more batches, like 2 more full loads, so once that's done then perhaps we need to think about whether or not it's worth doing more salting or not. Okay, we're doing good. So yeah folks, I think what we'll do now is I'll go continue on doing this and I'll bring you folks back when we are done at some point. Alrighty then folks, so we are just doing the last bit of work that we are required to do, and that is again clearing the pathway for up here around the top right corner of the map. Also, I noticed there was a contract at Field 22 for a bit of cultivation, so we've accepted that contract. And the trick that we did was simply that we accepted one contract, borrowed some equipment. We haven't completed that contract officially and get the payment yet, so we're borrowing that equipment from that contract and using it on all the others. So is it a bit cheeky or sneaky of us? Some may say yes. Ooh. Got a bit carried away there. And I suppose we should be putting some salt down as well. Go. So yeah, I think once we get this done, we'll take this down to the shop. We'll use that pathway between 43 and the hill that needs seeding, not seeding, salting and ploughing. And then they said that we can actually use this for our own farm as long as we get all the other contracts done, all the other requirements done. We talked about payments and they said they're going to pay me about just over 10 grand, so about they're happy with the work that we've done so far. It says we're going to do this and down the hill, so they said about between 10 and 11ish, maybe 12 grand. So shop now and get our payment from that. But for now, I am happy. And I think we'll do another quick little time-lapse here, get all this done, and then we'll get our payment, folks. Careful the worker, don't go smashing into him. So, alright then folks, we are nearly done here. Just got to last little bit over here, this little path, and then we can go and collect our money from the shop. And yes, let me say, it's a bit cheap of how getting this money in, but as long as it's 12 grand, I don't think it'll matter that much. It'll help with just prepping stuff for spring and that. It'll help with seeds, it'll help with fertilizer, and possibly getting some stuff if we get anything cheap in the used market. I very much doubt that. I've got lucky with stuff that we've got. Only not all of it I'm going to tell you. As I previously alluded to, a lot of it is grass care based, sort of. Perhaps guess based on the amount of money we spend, especially perhaps on one or two certain items. So yeah, that is pretty much it. If I could get this last little strip here, that sort. There we go. Oh, I guess it doesn't know what's plowed. Fair enough. If it doesn't want to get plowed, it doesn't want to get plowed. Don't think actually applying the salt would make much of a difference here. With it. No. But yeah, we'll sort of get this last bit of ploughing done, and then we'll go to our farm, or start collecting the money, go to our farm, and then, so yeah, I'm happy with that, done a good job here I think folks. So yeah, let's go and collect our cash from the shop, and then we'll go from there. So we are back at the farm, and one thing I've only just realised, also having these greenhouses set to sell. Perhaps I may have done it in the last episode or so, but what we're going to do is we're going to set it to store, because actually it works out better when we set it ourselves. When it comes to the prices now, I think it's about 50% you lose when you come to selling it via in the productions tab. So yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. In terms with fertilization, because I want to do some fertilizing. So we've got a bit over here at 41 that needs doing. Also, you can see the money's gone up. We earned £10,850 for that winter work. And that ain't a half bad price, so I'm not sure if this will actually work. Apparently it is working. Oh. Farm, and we earned £10,850 from the work that we've done. And now we've got the roll salt, so we're going to use that to spray around our yards. And workers done their task. Is that the fertilizing? Yeah, I think that's the fertilizing job. Could we fertilize or spray our fields with salt? apparently yes we can. So what we're going to do is going to quickly get this all done. Well, shall I do the main field area? I'm not sure, because I think it's going to warm up in a bit, so well, if we've got salt we could do it. I don't think it's going to harm the chemical makeup of the fields much. Let's clean that up a little bit. Where's the boundary to? There it is there. Sorry, I just figured out where was the boundary to. So yeah, we made some money from the contract, well, cool contract, favour, whatever you want to call it. That will help us a lot. And to round off this episode, because I think it's actually going to turn out to be as long as an episode as my typical episode. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the yard. Alright folks, so yeah, here we are. We've just got things tidy up around here. We've got some pallets stacked up, so we got 3 full pallets of honey and 1 partial one. That is 447 litres of honey and 400 litres of cabbage. Honey, I don't think we're producing anymore because I moved the pallet spawn point because... oh, we have another pallet here we can put on, but yeah, sorry. Pallet here, stuck through the ground. And we've got 2 pallets over here are stuck through the ground. Regardless of how much editing I do, so yeah. Next episode we'll go and sell those. Include whatever that is we produce. But to round off this episode, as I did say, we're going to put something in. So obviously we did the contract, the cultivation contracts, as seen here clearly. However, we still got the Deutz farm, we still got the plow or cultivator, so not quite sure what's going on there. Also, we did sell some of, well, we sold what I bought off camera in preparation for next year because there's something else in the used market that's come up and I really do want to get it. So I'm just going to move this. It's a little bit slippery, despite putting salt down the farmyards. Could have done the fields, but we ran out of salt and didn't think it's worth it, so... but yeah, I like some of the sea features, like for example this is all iced up. But yeah, you sort of getting distracted there. So yeah, in the used dealership, this has popped up. The Lemken Solitaire 12, a 12 meter seeder, 180 horsepower requirement, so we've got the power, and I am going to buy that. So that leaves us with 77 grand, and we're going to put some chickens in now. Oh, 79 grand, so we need 2 more grand. Bear with me a sec, folks, whilst I get that extra 2 grand. There we go, folks, we sold 2 grand's worth of front loader equipment that actually we don't need. One was the bucket and the other one was the weight, which I don't think we need, because especially not with the honey in that, so I've sold the weight and sold the bucket, so now we've got 79 grand. And now we can get some chickens in. Nope, do it under animals. Chickens, and we'll go with the large pen. And where could we put this to? Let's put it somewhere here perhaps. Okay, where's the grass field borderline to? So the grass field is there. So if you put so this rubs against that, perhaps. There we go. Obviously we need chickens in that, and we get that from selling the honey in that. Because we can have 360 chicks. Which I think, you know what? Let's get another small little load. Let's increase the load to 85 grand. A lot of this will be sold, or a lot of this will be repaid when we go ahead and sell what I'm talking about, sell the soybeans. So yeah. So we'll go and get some chickens. I'm sorry. So we've got some small chicks. Let's get some bigger chicks. And so what? Let's increase to 100 grand. Roosters, we can say get 5 of those. Yeah, 5. Then we'll go and get the rest here. Say. So yeah, we have some leeway. So we've got 5 spaces for more chickens. Next, they'll need some food, and we can get that by. Do you have any wheat or sorghum in storage or barley? I don't think so. Sorry about that. So yeah, no we do not. So we're going to buy some wheat. And we can do that via... Is it over here? Yep, big bags. We'll get some wheat. Ooh. It's going to end up being pretty expensive. 6,000 litres, that will do. So yeah, now we've got chickens folks, so that is going to be for us today. Next episode, we'll perhaps continue on from where we've left off here by feeding the chickens, and then we'll quickly approach March. So yeah, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, smash that button. Feel free to comment down below. If you want to share some, please be a guest. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, then please consider. But, whatever you choose to do, hope everyone has a nice day. But for now, this is from EnvoyXtreme, and I'll see you all very soon.